Hello, Sweet Tooth here. I hope your day is going well. Going to play some more Bastion made by Supergiant Games. So let's continue where we left off and jump right into it. I do highly recommend this game for yourself to play on your own.
So we didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us.
Head into the next area. Could do the training areas, like for the knife, the machete. I know, I keep calling it a sword and a
was
knife.
built for gathering squirt extract in copious supply. Ain't nothing more healthful.
Let's just restart.
Some folks showed up to make a fast buck with nothing but a knife. Other folks came to train their throwing arms. Still others used the place to test their finest blades. Slippery little devils. Kid carves through all of them in a flash.
There we go. I got first prize. What you do on this is, when this challenge starts, you need to go directly to the center and kill as many of the green... I can't remember what the name of them are. But you kill as many of those as you can, because those are the ones that will try to elude your character. And you know, it makes it a bit difficult because you have to chase them down. So, kill the ones that run away first.
Well, the kid's gone and struck terror in the hearts of squirts everywhere.
Might be able to upgrade this machete now. One plus blades per throw. 100% critical hit damage.
War machetes are so quick, you gotta keep a good grip on them.
Let's go right into the Hanging Gardens again.
The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. These folks never saw the calamity coming, But someone did. Someone close. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there at gate, in the flesh. It's a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. He's got so many questions after all.
Just counter him. Ah! I don't know, it keeps focusing on this one. Maybe it's
Just
a
ain't got
setting
time
that
for
I have.
answers. The
I'll have to
Thunder
check.
Brothers didn't make it.
I'll have to check out the settings later.
They never saw what it was like beyond the walls. Nor did the bird boy. Didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here.
Let's go back the other way real quick. And not fall off the ledge. Oops, don't hurt him. There's this circle. Okay, just want to make sure.
Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The core survives as well. Kid does what he has to do. What do you say to a man who's seen too much? Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please.
The survivor agreed to return to the Bastion.
He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time.
Talk to Zolf about life in Caelondia before the calamity. What was it like living in a city? Don't you get homesick?
For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east.
Show Zolf the crystal beret from the rippling walls. You didn't happen to see a girl who wore this in her hair, did you?
We all lost loved ones in the calamity, he says. I don't know how I'm gonna go on without mine.
Ask Zolf about the Euro sigil, discovered in the Hanging Gardens. Have you been in Caelondia long? Did you travel all the way from the east?
He was born in the Tazzle terminals. The Euras sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since.
Ask about the Ura sigil, discovered in the Hanging Gardens. Were there many Ura living in the city before the calamity? Can they be trusted here?
We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. Kid ain't finished here yet.
Alright. Gotta put the core in the monument.
The cores. They remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be alright. Well, look what we have here.
Lost and found.
The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again.
I believe these are things that you missed. Either that or it's just stuff you can get overall. Stabzinth is real nice. Yeah, here's the bronze spyglass that I missed. Something sharp.
All it takes is some fragments, and the Bastion makes it good as new.
I can get this one. But what I really want to get is the stabbing. Possibly the Bastion version if I have enough, and I do. And I'll just probably something coarse for a weapon that's coming up. Something sharp on the 625. Attacks deal damage over time. See, this one's actually... This is a real nice skill. So you can go for a 20% critical hit chance, but if you do this one, you can attack deal damage over time. So, one blessed blade per throw. Now if you throw a blade into an enemy, the attack from those two blades will do deal damage over time. So when you throw a blade, attack them outright afterwards, you'll be essentially doing 3 to 4 times, you know, more damage. It's a little trick.
We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city.
Let's go to the Cinderbreak Fort. $625.
There's only one way into Cinderbrick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy, normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid.
You know what, actually, let's go take a look at the settings real quick. know what I'm not doing? What I should be doing is locking on to the enemy. I'm not locking on to the enemy. E, Q, Z. You know what? Let's change this to Z. That's what I should have been doing, is locking onto the enemy.
Well, windbags young and old keep fighting for the fort.
Actually, can you set this to the scroll wheel? Yeah, you sure as heck can. Let's try that out.
At least the marshals left the kid a parting gift. Something the windbags just can't handle. Something that'll punch clean through their greasy hides.
Now the musket is one of my favorite weapons.
Windbags ain't much different from normal folks. All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent meal. The calamity drove the windbags topside. A lot of them wound up here in this very fort. Could have been minding the business underground like in the old days.
Did I just fall through a hole?
Windbags can't use the marshal supplies, but the kid sure can.
I can say with grab or slash.
As for the windbags, Cinder Brick gave them enough heat and metal to munch on for a while, but the fort ain't theirs by right. Can't blame them for wanting it, though. So many of those sorry things hold up inside that old fort. not a scratch on him as he presses on to higher ground.
Doubled up. There we go. Work through the scumbags.
Kid's blasting everything in sight with that newfangled musket.
Yeah, and I'll use it quite a lot too. I could use a breaker bow, but I mean I can throw my machete. So the machete, throwing the machete is kind of like using a breaker bow. Maybe not as powerful in certain respects, but I mean I can follow it up with the actual musket, assuming I'm close enough to the enemy. Take on as many as I can to get as much experience as I can.
Security's plane gone haywire. Windbags gummed up the works. Kid ain't afraid of getting burned.
Just working my way through
They trapped the kid in the middle of the fort's parade grounds. Then they bring out Ludus and Glandon and all their scumbag uncles.
Uh-oh.
They got something to gain, and only their sorry hides to lose. Kid takes down Ludus. Maybe it was Glandon.
Landon and Glorious. Can't tell them apart.
The other big fella soon joins his brother, wherever they are now. The windbags finally get the message.
Cora is not theirs. And they're gonna have to leave the, you know, fort.
Kid used to dream of getting a marshal's badge, but not like this.
Get all the rest of these.
The Skyway's a welcome sight after all that. And now ain't nothing left for nobody down at Cinderbrick Fort. Kid shows up just as Ulf's telling me about his own journey to the city. Seems the only thing the Calamity saved for Zulf was a smoking pipe.
Now these items that appear over here in this area take you into kind of like the past to get an insight into what happened. Asked Zulf about the Marshal's badge retrieved from Cinderbrick Fort. Did the Marshals ever give you a hard time being a Nura and all?
The Marshals seem like good men, he says. They treated him with dignity.
Smoking pipe. That's Zulf about a smoking pipe. Where did you get this? In a city they were used to say this stuff was very strong.
Zulf brought his antique smoking pipe all the way from the terminals. Zulf's travels ain't much compared to what the kids had to go through for all this.
Ask about the Marshal's badge again. The Marshals brought the city back to working order after war, didn't they?
Even since the Ura surrendered to us, the Marshals kept a wary eye on him.
The memorial.
The memorial. Here a kid can pay respect to the old world and earn it in kind. The valediction. Just another one of my sketches. Nothing more.
The valediction. A symbolic gesture at best, nonetheless, the memorial pays homage to the way things used to be.
Words can't express what happened, but they're all I got.
Go to the distillery. I can get the stabbings. The stab scene. Automatically retaliate when injured.
Stab synth is like drinking a cool breeze. Just don't go spitting needles everywhere.
Something sharp. Attack deal damage over time.
Points just don't get any sharper than that.
Something coarse for the musket. 35 spread or a 50% range. More concerned about range.
You want to tune a scrap musket, you start with the barrel. Anything survives a musket shot ought to be quick work for that blade.
Let's get it right into the proving grounds for the musket. And this will be the last thing I do for this video.
Ever felt a soul wood gourd? Like picking up broken glass barehanded? At Zolwood Grove, Marshals learned to make every shot count. The trick was to pop all those nasty gourds without wasting ammo. Most Marshals didn't get far on their first few tries. Had to catch a bunch of those gourds in a single shot. Funny thing about muskets is they work best up close.
Got 18.
It took a keen eye, not an itchy trigger finger.
Something coarse and something foul.
Marshals did more than just stand around shooting, of course.
Well, that'll do it for this video. Stay tuned for the next. If you have any other suggestions for other games, feel free to leave a comment. Have yourself a great day, and thank you for watching. Sweet Tooth, signing off.